how would you describe yourself to someone new? Let's say if you had to use 3 words to describe yourself and why.
Well, that's like these three words that I really like that I think describe me perfectly.
All right.
Entrepreneur mind, athlete body, artist soul.
Okay, let's
Because
start with entrepreneur mind.
yes, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Like, like I've always like have new idea to like do business, like start a new business. I started like couple businesses before, and I'm starting a new one. So that's like the entrepreneur. My
Okay.
athlete body is I like to be healthy. I like to work out. I like to eat healthy. I care a lot about health and wellness.
Mm,
And artist soul is that I'm an artist at heart as well.
right, right.
I'm a creative person. I started off as a fashion blogger, basically,
Oh,
in 2010. And because of that, I also get to learn about photography as well. And in 2017, that was the first year I became a commercial photographer. So then I do everything creative. I also
mm,
like to create content, take a picture of myself, have other people take my picture, and also like create a video, do YouTube channel, IG
yeah.
reel, and all things like that.
I love your YouTube video. I've checked your YouTube channel. Like it deserves more subscribers.
Thank
It's
you.
very good, high
Yeah,
quality, very interesting.
I definitely want to focus more on that like next year,
Mm,
2025.
yeah, I think the value is there, the quality is there for the video. They just have to find your YouTube channel.
Exactly. I just like I need YouTube to like send this video to the right people so
Right.
then they can follow me.
Yes, if you're into like creative work, travel,
Entrepreneurship.
entrepreneurship, like interesting interviews you have done.
Yes, I also do into with interesting people as well,
Mm-hmm.
which we're gonna do after this interview.
Yeah, so that will be on her channel. I'll put her link in the description below.
Yes.
You said you have the entrepreneurial mindset. Is it from when you were a kid?
So to be honest, because growing up in like Asian household, like Asian culture, I grew up in Thailand, so I couldn't really do much because in Thailand, like kids are not supposed to be working. It's not like in the States where you can go sell lemonade when you are like 7 years old. But in Thailand, people don't really do that. Like kids are meant to be studying in school.
Right.
So I just mainly focus on that. But I remember when I was in university, like I was starting to think about what I want to do after I graduate. And of course, the normal part is to get a 9 to 5 jobs, right? And I did that. I tried to get a 9 to 5 job, but actually before doing that, I also experimented on like doing another business.
Okay.
So at that time, like this gonna sound bad, but I try to do like multi-level marketing, which is seen as a scam, right?
Mm.
But it actually taught me so much because I was entering that field at a young age. Like when I was still in my university,
Mm.
I get to learn a lot about the mindset of like how to do business,
Mm.
how to talk to people, and not exactly how to do marketing, but yeah, I think business and the mindset in general.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I learned. I failed in that business miserably because that did not align with my value
Right.
because I don't like scamming people,
Mm.
and I sort of got scammed into doing it, to be honest. But like, I just took like the good out of it. Like I learned a lot from it, and I didn't see it as a bad thing. I only like see it as a positive thing.
Good.
And in fact, the people that I know who were doing that business now they're successful in other business as well.
Mm.
So I think it taught off us the mindset, how to do business and how to be successful in doing business.
Mm. Just curious, was it Herbalife?
No, it's not Herbalife.
Okay.
It's something called Unity Wellness.
Unity
Yeah,
Wellness.
but basically they're selling supplements.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but the more popular one in Thailand is called Amway.
Amway.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. How would you describe Sophia in high school?
In high school,
Oh.
I was truly a nerd, but also a rebellious type of nerd. So I went to a special high school in Thailand. It's a science high school, and it's actually the hardest high school to get into in Thailand because every year about 30,000 people apply, and these 30,000 people have to have a certain GPA. So not everyone can apply for it.
Mm.
And then we have to go through two rounds of exam. There's a written exam that qualify everyone,
Mm.
and then they narrow down to I don't know about 700 people, and then they bring 700 people together in a camp,
Mm-hmm.
in 2 3 day camp to evaluate us on doing like some activity, experiment, EQ test, IQ test, everything
Wow.
to make sure they get the best of the best, like the
Mm-hmm.
smartest people in Thailand in this high school. So anyway, in this high school, I got humble real fast because in my primary school and middle school, I was always the smartest one in the class.
Mm.
And in this high school, I was not the smartest one. So I had to learn, I had to find some skill that I was good at that other people in my high school are not good at. So usually in high school, people are good at like math, physics, chemistry, biology, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I cannot compete with anyone in those subjects at all. Let me find something else. So I discovered programming. So at the
Programming.
age of 15, I learned how to do programming the first time, and the first language I learned was C, and I was immediately good at it. So I was like, okay, finally I found something I'm good at that I'm
Mm.
not going to be an embarrassment to my family in my high
Right.
school
Right.
because I really couldn't compete with anyone else in my high school with math, physics, biology, chemistry at all. Yeah.
Wow.
But the rebellious part was this. I was the one of the few people in my high school who wanted to study abroad. So then I started
Mm.
this club, like a not a social club, but it's like a club where I brought other people together who also want to study abroad, focusing on the U.S. And then we do study. We study SAT together,
Yeah.
TOEFL together, and then yes, some of us end up studying abroad, including me.
Hmm. Why US? Why did you
Why
choose
US?
US?
Because it was like the biggest dream of mine to live in the USA, and the US has like the strongest education system.
Hmm.
Like if you look at any like the university ranking, it's always the school in the US that had the highest
Oh.
ranking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why at that time I wanted to study aerospace engineering because
Yeah.
again I wanted to find something that I might be good at that is not very conventional. So I chose aerospace engineering.
Wow.
But also there's a stupid reason behind it. I did not want to do computer programming, like I mean software engineering or
Mm-hmm.
computer science as a major, because I did not want to spend every day on a laptop on the screen. But guess what? Nowadays, everyone work on the screen.
Right.
So I was pretty stupid to think that. But anyway, that's not the reason. The reason was because like the US had the best like engineering school.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted to go to the school in the US. And I ended up getting into a school in the US called University of Southern California, and another one called Harvey Mudd College. It's a very like specialized school in California. So they're
Uh-huh.
both in California and they're both in Los Angeles. But in the end, I didn't go to any of these schools. I ended up going to a school in Korea called KAIST, Korea
Korea.
Advanced Institute of Science Technology. And the only reason is because I didn't get a scholarship from the US and my family couldn't afford to send me there. But I got a full scholarship from KAIST. So I could study in Korea for free.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. You have a very interesting background.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about the journey from when you were a kid? You were born in Thailand?
I was born in Thailand. I'm a fourth generation Chinese born in Thailand. Um, as a kid, I would say I've always been a nerd, always been like, pushed by my dad to be like studying really hard, try to be the best in school. And because of that, I was not very likable because I feel like a lot of people were like jealous of me.
All right.
But at
Mm.
the same time, I I also maybe was not as the friendliest person because my only focus in school was to study, not to make friends. So
Mm.
it go both way. But looking back, like I mean nowadays, like my friend from my primary school, like they have good memory of me, so maybe it wasn't so bad. But anyway, when I was younger, I read lots of books. I read about 50 books per year.
50.
Yeah, 50, like 50.
Uh,
So my eyesight was extremely bad.
Whoa.
Yeah.
50. How many do you need to read a month? 50.
I don't know, like how many
That's
days, like
crazy.
each book for like 6 days or something, right?
Hmm.
That's, yeah, that's like probably the math behind it.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, you know, when Harry Potter came out,
Right.
I think I read each of them in like 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm like super into reading and I would read at night and I would not sleep.
Where did they come from? Your
Like,
passion for reading?
my passion for reading, probably my dad.
Ah.
My dad like loved reading. My dad loved studying. So my dad studied medicine. He was a doctor. And when I was in my primary school, he decided that he gonna get a master degree and a PhD in epidemiology.
Hmm.
So my dad is like a lifetime student basically. He had many degree after that as well. So he loved studying. So because my dad loved to read and loved studying, so I started to like read lots of books when I was young and he encouraged me to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have an amazing dad.
Yes, in the sense where he really pushed me to study hard. Yes.
Was it a bit too much?
I think it was a bit too much. Like if I have kids, I wouldn't push my kid to study that hard
Okay.
because now that I've lived in like so many country and seen like the life in other country, like I don't think school is like it's as necessary as people make it to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. And what type of books do you read now?
So the funny thing is nowadays I don't read as many books.
Okay.
So I think I read too many books when I was young. I really think I stopped reading. So in high school, I still read lots of books because my high school also had a requirement to read a certain amount of book per year.
Hmm.
I forgot how many, but I think it was around 50 as well.
What?
I really think so.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway, so after that, I think I was like, I'm done with reading. And what I read was a mix of novel and self-help book and also like, some book for studying. So it's multiple type of books.
The
So
Were you reading self-help book when you were a kid?
yes, I was.
Wow.
So the one of the book that my dad like gave me to read and I think that really changed my life is called Goals by Brian Tracy. Have you heard about
Brian
it?
Tracy, I've heard of him.
Yes. So it taught me since I was like, I don't know, 10, 11 years old to set goals for my life.
Wow.
And since my primary school, I set the goal to get into my high school because I knew that the high school was like really hard to get into. So that was my goal to get into my high school.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
I wished I had read that book when I was a kid.
But it's never too late. Like,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you went to school in Thailand?
Yes. So I went to kindergarten, primary school, middle school, high school in Thailand, and
Mm-hmm.
then university in South Korea.
South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And when does the America comes in?
So after I finished my school in South Korea, I told myself I didn't want to go back to Thailand and work there. I still want an international life because I felt like that was like just the beginning. And in South Korea, I get to meet international friends from all over the world
Mm.
and to learn about their culture, the way they think was like super interesting. Like interesting enough, a lot of my friends in my university speak Russians because in my university there are a lot of people from like the ex-USSR countries like Azerbaijan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan. So the common language is Russians.
Mm-hmm.
So I like learning like about culture and And also they were exchange students from other countries as well. Like they were exchange students from Europe, like France, and they were exchange students from Brazil, which
Mm.
I get to meet up with them like last year when I went to Brazil.
Bro.
So it was a good reunion after like all this
Amazing.
time. Anyway, so yes, I didn't want to like go back and study and work in Thailand. So I was trying to find a job abroad, but as someone who has a Thai passport, getting a job abroad is extremely difficult,
Mm.
especially as a first job, because with first job you don't have any job experience, any work experience. So who would want to hire me, right? But then I also set myself a goal to like, okay, I'm gonna make it happen.
Mm.
So I got my first job after 6 months, which is like much longer than anyone else. Because all my friends they got their job within like 3 months of graduating. So I got my first job after 6 months, but it was very rewarding because this job is an international management trainee job
Mm.
for an Italian company. So the program is called a graduate program. And in this program, the first year, I had a job rotation in 3 different countries. So in my first year, I had a job rotation in Malaysia, Indonesia, and
Wow.
Thailand, and also 2 weeks in Singapore as well. And
Okay.
then the second year, this is the interesting part. So the second year, this company has location in 50 different countries around the world, but the headquarters in Milan, Italy.
Mm.
So they would like assign us, each of us. So there were like about 50 people in the graduate program in each year. So they would assign each of us to whatever country and we don't have a say in it.
Ah.
Like they would assign to us and we can say if we don't like it, we can say something and they might or might not, like assign us to a new country. Um, but I got lucky. I got selected to be in their headquarters in Milan, Italy. And that was also my dream because after graduation, my mom gifted me a graduation gift. And that was my first time I went to Europe. I got to go to Italy and France.
Mm.
And I remember I told myself that one day I want to live in Milan. And I made it happen with this job. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
So, still not in America
not in
yet,
America
right?
yet.
So
We'll get there.
after that, so I lived in Milan, Italy for a year, and the job assignment supposed to be for 2 years, but I realized very quickly that the job function they assigned me to with engineering was
Mm.
not something I like at all. So at that time, I talked to my best friend who also studied aerospace engineering with me in South Korea, who went to the same high school with me in Thailand.
Mm.
So he was doing marketing for a startup company in Thailand.
Okay.
And he told me that you should try like marketing. I think you're gonna be good at it. So I'm like,
Oh.
okay, I'll try. And then I asked him like, but how am I gonna start? I don't have a degree in marketing. I don't have any experience. So how am I gonna do it, right? But he was also telling me that like, at that time, like the startup industry in Thailand was like very booming.
Mm.
So they were looking for like smart people from like all type of industry basically. And I got super lucky. I got hired as a marketing manager at a fashion tech company in Thailand because I had an engineering background because they're a tech company and I had a fashion blog. So had
Ah.
I not started a fashion blog in 2010, I would not have gotten this job. But because of that, they trusted me that I can do this job.
Mm-hmm.
And in Thailand as well, like people who study engineering usually can get any jobs because we're being seen as being smart. So then they trust us more in like doing
Mm-hmm.
whatever job. But maybe not a doctor, not a lawyer, but I meant like normal job. Yeah. Then after being in Thailand for a year, I realized like that I was too ambitious to be in Thailand because I want more in life. At that time, I was extremely ambitious. I wanted to be a millionaire,
Oh,
like
okay.
any ambitious people, I
Right.
guess, because I
At
watch
one
a lot of
point.
YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I moved to Los Angeles. So I just moved there And at that time, my dream was to be a photographer because I've seen a lot of people on YouTube like Jay Alvarez, Sam Calder, Taylor
Oh,
Cutfame, and those people,
great
they,
ones.
that's one thing in common. They live in LA. So then I'm like, okay, maybe I should try living in Los Angeles. So I went there, and within the first 3 months, I got a gig with Maybelline and Jiffy. And Maybelline is the leading like cosmetic company, and Jiffy, is the Jif company. So they make GIF.
Hmm.
So whenever you guys go on iMessage and you want to send a GIF, the GIF is from Jiffy.
Chief.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you type in Maybelline,
Uh-huh.
you will see one of my GIF pop up,
Oh,
and some of them still had like 80 million users like until this day. So I got super lucky that like
nice.
within the first 3 months that I was also networking really hard. I was doing a
Uh-huh.
lot of like collaboration and free shoot until I get this paid shoot. So that was my confirmation that like okay, I'm on the right part. Let me just do it. But then after that, it was hard to get a consistent income as a photographer,
Mm-hmm.
especially being from another country, trying to break in one of the hardest city in the world to be a photographer
LA,
because Los Angeles has so many photographers and they're
Mm-hmm.
super talented as well. Um, so then I was like, you know what? Let me try to lean back in on my other background in marketing. So I ended up getting a job as a marketing manager at a company called Hey Dude Shoes.
Oh, right.
And with that company, it helped me like further my career so much. I learned so much from that company. I grow with the company and I help the company grow. So I joined the company in 2017, and at that time, their online sales were $1,000 a day. And we also only had 3 people in the whole marketing team, just
Oh,
me, a graphic designer, and a marketing assistant at $1,000 a day. 4 years later, I helped them grow to $1 million a day
wow.
with a team of 12 people only.
Million.
Yes, so it's a very lean team.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2021, when they were making $1 million a day, Crocs took an interest in them, and they bought the company for 2.5 billions. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. The
Damn.
owner became billionaire
Right.
basically. Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
Yes, it's a crazy, right?
Yeah, but I was wondering, where does the creative part comes in to your life? Like the photography, the fashion blog.
I think I always loved fashion since I was a kid.
Hmm.
And I think I always loved art as well. Like, I took some art classes when I was in middle school, not high school. Yeah, when I was in middle school. But yeah, apart from that, like, I've never touched an actual camera until I started my fashion blog. So that when I bought my first camera,
Hmm.
and at that time it was like a point and shoot, but it was also like an interchangeable lens, so it's a smaller version. It was a crop sensor camera, not a DSLR.
Hmm.
But the first time I ever touched a DSLR camera was 2016.
Which
Yeah,
one was it?
it was a Canon 70D.
It's also
Yeah.
mine first one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. I also did some photography class
Okay.
in school, like
I've
with
never
graphic
done any
design.
photography class.
Yeah, we had to buy DSLR camera, so
Wow.
I bought that one.
Yeah,
Then,
that's a good starting like camera. But
mm-hmm.
that wasn't the first camera that I bought. So it was
Oh,
the first camera that I rented because at that time my best friend from Milan,
hmm.
she moved to Dubai. Well, she was starting out when she was in Milan, she was also like already like trying to be a photographer, and she used me as like a taste models. So I was helping her out and stuff, and I asked her like which camera should I buy. So she suggested the same camera as her, which is Canon 70D. So, but before I buy a camera, I have to test it. So I rented out first, and
Mm-hmm.
I took it on a trip to Dubai. And I'm like, okay, I got really good picture from it. I really like it. But at that time I was only shooting JPEG. I'd never shoot RAW before. So after that trip, I bought Canon 80D, which is the upgraded version of 70D.
Yeah.
And then I took that camera to Australia when I traveled there. And still at that time, I still never shoot any raw picture in my life. I still shoot JPEG. Then I start researching online, like how to edit picture, how to make the picture look good and professional, look like Sam Coder picture basically.
Yeah.
Um, so then that's how I learned about like shooting raw pictures. So I started shooting raws and I never looked back since. Now I never shoot JPEGs.
Raw, and then you
Yeah,
edit it in post.
exactly. Just edit everything in Lightroom with
Mm.
presets. I also learned about preset from YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I did buy a Adobe Lightroom course, but I've actually never finished the course. I literally learned everything like just by experimenting on the slide. You know, there's so many like button on
Right.
Lightroom, just like the slide, just adjusting like all the slide possible, and then whatever I don't know how to use or like whatever I'm curious about, I just look it up on YouTube and look at the tutorial on how to do
Right.
stuff.
You can learn everything from YouTube.
Exactly. Like you don't need to spend money to buy any course for photography, really.
Mm.
Like I never went to any photography school, never took any photography class. I learned everything on the job and on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's free.
And
You don't have
exactly,
to.
it's free.
It's free, yeah.
Yes.
And they have quality courses, tutorials on YouTube.
Exactly. And like, of course, you're not gonna get like all the information from one person,
Mhm.
but if you combine the information from different YouTube creator all together,
Right.
that is already a school it's in itself. Like you don't need to spend money in photography school at all.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You do. I've also learned a lot from YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is the point where I stopped reading because I feel like I can learn so much more from watching YouTube videos.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what type of YouTube videos you watch.
All type of things. So mainly, I would say like business related.
Okay.
Also like about like law of attraction, manifestations, and learning about things like relationship, attachment style, psychology. Because I'm
Okay.
also interested in like learning about like human psychology as well. And yeah, things like Formula One. I love Formula One.
Oh, have you watched the new Senna series on Netflix?
Not yet. I really want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
have you
haven't
watched it?
just a few minutes. I didn't have time.
So it's already came out.
It's already out.
Yeah,
I want
well,
to
you
watch
know,
it.
the thing is, since I've been to Bali, I have not opened Netflix even once.
Yeah, me too. It's
I
weird, right?
It's weird because I think because we're in Bali, like we rather spend our time connecting with people and talking to people because it's so much more interesting than watching Netflix
Right.
or going to the gym.
Yeah, working out,
Yeah.
working on your business,
Mm-hmm.
and then networking, like you
Exactly.
said.
There's so many more things to do. So I have
Yeah.
not watched anything on Netflix. I didn't even know it came out, but
Right.
I remember I was really looking forward to it. Yeah. What about you? What do you watch on YouTube?
On YouTube. These days, mostly podcast episodes.
Yeah, actually, me too. I watch podcasts as well and vlogs, like
Vlogs.
business vlog, not like random vlog. Like back in the day, I was watching a lot of vlog from like LA vloggers, but I don't watch them anymore. And also back in the day, like I feel like vlogger have this really big personality, and it never resonated with me because I'm not the type of person where I'm gonna go on my camera and be like, oh my god, like my day is like this, like that. Like that's not my personality at all. Like, and I feel like they all have very big personality, like Logan Paul,
Logan
Jake
Paul,
Paul, like, and I'm not that type of person.
Right.
So yeah, I that's why I never resonate with them. But nowadays, I've seen a lot of like people who are more reserved and quiet, and even introvert people making vlogs. So I
Yeah.
feel inspired by that.
That's exactly my type of
Exactly.
content I like.
That's like
Yeah.
you basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
so I learned that you don't have to be loud to be like doing vlog on YouTube, and that's why I also started my vlog as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just be yourself. Try to
Mm-hmm.
be as authentic as possible. I think that's a good tip.
Mm-hmm.
And you find the right people, like people who are
The right
similar to
audience.
you.
Yeah, like people with similar personality because I don't
Exactly.
think everyone is loud like that.
No.
Yeah.
And you don't have to fake it anymore. Just be yourself.
Yeah, like don't have
Don't
to
try
fake
to
fake it anymore.
like be loud if you're not naturally loud
Yes,
or extroverted.
exactly. Just
No.
be very authentic.
Yeah.
Well, one of the YouTuber I like the most nowadays is the Wizard List. Have you heard of her?
Who?
The Wizard List.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love her videos so much. She's authentically herself. And another thing that what I really like about her channel is that like she's not a native English speaker. She doesn't have American accent or British accent or Australian accent, anything like that, but like she speaks so confidently.
Mm.
And then no one ever complained about her English. But when I tried started a YouTube channel when I started a fashion blog, and at that time there were so many people commenting about my English accent, so I had to close down that YouTube channel because
Mm.
I felt like I was not confident enough to speak in English because of my accent, because I don't have American accent. So people were like commenting on my accent, and I felt really ashamed of my accent in a way, and that's why I didn't want to make like any YouTube video until recently, until this year, when I start meeting people who are non-English speaker that are
Right.
making English YouTube video. Then I'm like, okay, it's actually like fine. Like I can talk on yeah, in English in my videos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it is scary. Like,
right.
yeah, starting a YouTube channel is scary. Like,
Yes.
you feel the fear of
Being
judgment.
judged, exactly.
Right.
Like I don't like people who judge me for my accents, and like even though I lived in America for 6 years, I still don't have American accent because I didn't move there when I was young,
Mm.
right? So even in America, like I'm constantly being judged by American, about my accent.
Mm.
Like, like some people would say things to me like, "Oh, your English is really good."
Ah,
But that made me
yeah.
feel so horrible because I studied English since I was like 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand how to speak in English and I'm able to speak in English. It's just my accent is not American. That's it. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. What about you? Like, do you like how did you when did you learn English, and like how did you learn to be more confident speaking English on camera?
Mm. I still feel like my English isn't that good enough, especially when I started 3 years ago. I think.
Mhm.
You should watch my first video. It's very cringy, but
Mhm.
I'm proud of myself for doing it.
Mhm.
Um, uh, I thought, like, I have a big dream.
Mhm.
I want to inspire people.
Yes.
Why is this holding me back? What?
Yes, it's such a mindset thing, and like I don't know if you ever had an experience where people bully you for your English, but I have, so that's why it's such a block for me to speak English in front of the camera. Like
Mm,
I have no problem texting, writing in English. I could write a whole blog in English because with a blog you can also like proofread everything.
right.
But speaking in English in front of a camera, like I cannot edit this. Like, and even when I watch my video, like, I've seen so many grammar mistake, but like
Mm,
who care? Like in the end, like it's all about like the content you put out,
right.
whether or not it inspires people, like
Mm,
how useful it is, basically.
exactly.
Not about like how perfect your English actually is,
Mm,
because there are so many native speakers out there who speak English perfectly, but they don't have any interesting story to tell.
mm.
Yeah.
That reminded me of a comment that I got
Mhm.
that people appreciated that my English isn't that high level.
Really?
That I use simple language
Uh huh.
because my English isn't the best,
Uh huh.
so they can resonate more with me.
Because they can understand it because
Yeah,
they don't understand complex words.
complex word. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. It was kind of them to say that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that gives you more motivation to keep going and keep improving your English.
I wish your audience would comment on my video years ago when I first started my YouTube channel.
But I can understand that. Yeah,
Yeah.
if they leave mean comment, can really hurt you.
Yes. It's like, oh yeah, I don't understand you, like what you're speaking. I just felt like I felt so bad.
Right.
But the other thing is that like these people that comment on our video like this, they only speak one language.
Mm,
And you speak what, four language or
four.
five?
Four.
Four. Yeah, you speak four languages, and that's like insane. Because how many people in the world speak four language? Like not many.
Yeah. I
I'm
think.
not very gifted with languages. I only speak two languages fluently, Thai and English. I did try to learn Korean. I tried to learn Italian,
Yeah.
but it didn't like click in my brain at all. But I always want to learn the third language. But I always feel like I'm not gifted with human languages, but
Mm,
I'm gifted with computer languages.
interesting.
Yeah.
Would that be like a limiting belief?
I think so. I really think so. I think anyone can learn languages.
Right.
Like especially like watching other people on TikTok nowadays. There was one American girl who moved to Thailand, and within a year, she was able to speak Thai in almost a perfect accent.
Wow.
That I was so shocked because I used to think that foreigner cannot learn Thai because it's such a hard language to learn and to speak and be able to pronounce each word correctly because Thai language has five tones. For example, the word ga, like Ka, right?
Ah.
We pronounce it ga, 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 and it all had different meanings. Or, for example, the word Kao, it can be cow, which
Oh.
mean white, cow, which mean like
Ah.
smelly,
No way.
cow, which mean them, cow mean rice, cow mean news. It has so many different meaning depending on how you pronounce it, and you probably don't even notice the difference, right?
Mm.
But I was like, if this girl only live in Thailand for a year and she's able to pronounce Thai words so like perfectly,
Mm-hmm.
of course I can learn another language.
Right.
I really think it's a limiting belief.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to have like a growth mindset
The
to.
growth mindset is super important. I agree. And it's also important to surround yourself with people with growth mindset.
Exactly.
Like we can learn anything. We can learn new skill. Like
Yep.
I mean, yes, I have this limiting belief about learning languages, but I have no limiting belief when it comes to learning new skills. Because look at me, like I never went to photography school. I learned photography.
Right.
Never took any video editing course. I just learned how to edit video by myself, and probably the same as you, right? Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
edit
didn't.
video, or you just learn by yourself.
Yeah, I didn't go to school and learn that. No,
Uh huh.
just by myself on
Yes.
YouTube.
Like I love learning new skill. To me, it's
Me
like
too.
one of the things that bring me joy because it make me feel like I'm improving.
Right.
I'm making progress in my life. So I really like that.
Yeah, making progress gives you like the joy, more happiness, even more
Yes.
motivation to keep going. Yeah, I think it's important to constantly try to improve.
Yes.
Like I think it's something that has no end. Like you can keep improving
Keep
till
learning.
yeah, keep learning,
Yes.
keep improving till you die.
Yeah. And that's how I also changed my career so many times. From aerospace engineer
That's crazy, yeah.
to like a management trainee at an engineering company to a marketing manager
Right.
to a photographer to now I just started my own marketing agency as well. And I also had to learn new skill, which is designing.
Mm.
Because I have a graphic designer in my agency, but I cannot rely on her 100% because what I truly believe is that before you hire someone, you need to learn how to do that skill yourself first. Because if you don't know how to do that skill by yourself, how are you going to be able to tell if someone is good at doing that skill?
Right.
Yeah. And I learned this from the CEO of Hey Dude Chu, actually. So he was a very hands on type of CEO.
Mm.
There was even one time where there was a graphic that he did not like. So he went to a graphic designer desk, sat on the chair, and then tried to move things around by himself in Photoshop.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, now I'm seeing this. I'm like, it might sound too much for some people, but to me, it's more like he's like he doesn't know how to use Photoshop perfectly, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but he knows some basic skill, and it's much easier for him to convey the idea he has in his head to the graphic designer.
Mm.
In that way, he got exactly what he wants.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, that's how I think, like, okay, that's actually a very good mindset to have. And he also taught me, because I was the manager, and I leveled up as the head of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But he also taught me something like, okay, do you know that these people you're managing, whether or not they're efficient in their job or not, if you don't know how to do the skill yourself, how would they know that whether or not they're like telling you they're lying, that like, okay, maybe they take 20 hours when you might even take like 5 hours doing that job.
Mm.
So I think it's important to like learn this skill yourself first,
Right.
and then find people who are better than you
Mm-hmm.
to do that, or who can do it faster than you, or both.
Mm. That's a
Yeah.
good business advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's something I learned from the CEO, and he's a billionaire now, so I think it's a good advice.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. Let's talk a little bit about your business.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of services do you provide?
So I provide branding,
Branding.
and that include like brand identity design, logo design, color palette, brand story, everything. Strategy, which is like marketing strategy, brand launch or rebranding or brand growth. Creative strategy, like the creative strategy, and that would link to my two other services, photography and videography, because you need a creative strategy before you start doing any photography or
Mm-hmm.
videography. And then my fifth service is graphic design, and the last one is influencer marketing and UGC. And I selected these 7 services because these are my strongest skills in
Mm-hmm.
marketing. Like, I've done everything in marketing already, from Facebook ad to email marketing to all these that I'm talking about. But these are the one I'm the best at and the one I'm most passionate about. So I niched down to only the one I really like to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And how is that going so far?
Well, it's not growing as fast as I expected, but it's also as I expected as well, because I'm doing this by myself. I'm the only founder of the agency, so I don't have another founder who can help me, that can complement my skill basically.
Mm.
So the skill I'm trying to improve the most is sales,
Sales.
because without sale you cannot get clients.
Right.
So without client, then you don't have work, for your agency. So right now, I'm learning sales skill and improving my sales skill in order to get more client,
Mm.
because I know I can provide all these services. From my experience, I already helped a brand grow into a $2.5 billion brand, and I help other like e-commerce brand as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I help them grow as well, in terms of like doing like strategy, creative services and stuff. Uh, so I know I can do all these skill. It's just the sales skill I'm lacking.
Right.
So my next step is to learn the sales skill myself,
Mm.
then hire a business development manager slash sales manager to get client for my agency.
Mm. Yeah, it is important
It's
to learn
very important.
sales, right?
Sale is one of the most important skills to learn, because
Right.
everything in life is sales.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Even like, starting a YouTube channel, you need to learn how to sell yourself to your
Mm-hmm.
audience.
Right.
Yeah. Any business or any job, or like in the job interview, you need to learn how to sell yourself to the interviewer, right? And even in dating, you have to sell
Yeah.
yourself to your date.
Right.
Otherwise, like, yeah, no one gonna date you.
True.
Yeah.
And how are you learning sales right now?
So I had a consultation with a friend of mine who have done sales for 20 years,
Mm.
and he gave me some pointer to learn. So basically he told me I have to learn sales language, like how to like sales stuff basically. And he also helped me come up with a unique selling point for my agency, like how am I different.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually came up with this. So my whole idea of like how I'm so unique from different other than like other marketing or creative agencies is that I understand content that converts. Meaning, when I was doing photography as a job, like I had a photography business in the US, um, the client come to me because they know that I make their product look good, not the model look good. Because most photographers are artists, they only care whether or not the model look good or not in the picture. They don't care if the product look good. But that's very wrong because in order to sell the product, you need to make the product look good. So that's why I came up with this idea like content that convert. And the same with the shoe company, Hey Dude. I was doing about 80 to 90% of their photos when I was working
Wow, that
at a
much.
company. Yes. So I know that my photo performed extremely well on ads because we had about 7x to 8x ROA, return on ad spend, on like Meta ad, Facebook ad, Instagram ad, Google ad, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because the photo that I took like convert really well, into sales. And 7x to 8x ROA for like footwear industry was unheard of. So it was a very, very good like conversion rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. And would you say is the hardest challenge you have faced starting a business?
The hardest is to not feel discouraged because most people that fail in business is because they gave up too soon. While in fact, you never know, like you might be super close to landing your like big clients. Like
Right.
it might be like, like there's like this mountain right here and you're climbing it up, but you don't know where is the tip, the top of the mountain.
Right.
You keep climbing, but you don't know when you're gonna reach there. But it might just be like there already. Like you might already find like your big client soon, or your next like breakout soon. Like same with YouTube, right? You had one video that went viral. But what happened if you quit before you had that viral video?
Exactly.
Yeah. How many
Yeah.
video did you make before you had a viral video?
Ooh. I don't know. Like a lot.
A lot.
A
You
lot.
just kept going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the beginning, did you have like a lot of tractions?
Oh no.
No.
You should see my graph. Like
I would love
flat,
to. It was flat?
barely growing. And then I wasn't expecting that video to go viral. But I knew Ali Abdal says this, like you just have to keep going for at least 2 years, and then he can guarantee your life will change. And yeah, you never know which video will go viral, right?
Right.
So you keep going, and then yeah, out of nowhere that video got more views,
Yeah.
and then it went like like up
So that's
crazy.
super inspiring from my YouTube channel because I also don't see much growth right now in the beginning, but I also know this thing like this mindset of not never giving up. Like
That's
if
an
you
important
had
one.
you given up like after 10 video, you would never had that viral video and your
Exactly.
YouTube channel wouldn't grow into 20,000 subscriber.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's the one of the key mindset you should have as a business owner, to
The
not give up.
resilient.
Yeah.
Yeah, not giving up.
Resilient. Yeah, like
Resilience.
resilient
Yeah.
and not give up too soon.
Right. Right. And thinking long term and being
Exactly.
patient.
Exactly. Being patient is also the key because the thing is nowadays, like we have seen so many people on YouTube, on the internet that come up and say like, oh yeah, in 1 month, the first month I make $1 million, and it's not very realistic because only a very small percentage of people who are successful in their first business like that. 80 to 90% of the business fail basically, and it usually fail on the first year as well because the first year is the hardest year.
Right.
While in fact, if you look back at really big company, like they might have no traction at all, the first few years, even like I can't think of any like real example right now, but like from what I remember, like a company like for example like Tory Burch, which is like a big fashion conglomerate in not conglomerate, a big fashion company in the U.S. That is still an LLC, which is LLC mean like not a huge company. not public company, it's a private
Public
company.
company, okay.
So Tory Burch, I don't think when she started off, I don't think she was like successful right away. Like it was not like there wasn't like this story of like this overnight success like back in the days like that. So I think we need to learn that we need to learn to be patient with ourselves, and we need to learn that like most business fail, and most business owner, they're not successful in their first business.
Right.
Yeah, but
They
then they
fail
have
to
to like keep doing, and they
Mhm.
become more successful in their second, third, or fourth business.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And you just need one successful business,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, one or two.
One or two. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. Being resilient and being patient and not giving up too quickly.
And not compare yourself to like other people, because
Right.
one, they might got lucky. Like with business, I believe in luck, and also like
It's
timing.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they. Okay, one of my friend, like she got super lucky with her e-com business. Her first product become her most successful product, and in the first year she had about $500,000 in sales. But she got lucky because what she does is she sells this product called a rapid bra, and you might not know what it is, but I'll tell you how she got lucky.
Okay.
She named her product the original rapid bra. So right away, it helped with the SEO, because when people search for rapid bra, they're searching for the original brand of rapid bra. So then her website always come up first on search.
Right.
But she had no idea it was gonna be like this. When she started the brand, she didn't think it was gonna do well with SEO. But because that's the name of her brand, it's still her best selling product up until today. So that's luck, basically.
Luck is important
Yeah, it is.
to being successful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I'm thinking, right? Going viral or having your first product being successful, that doesn't build character. So that's the downside of going viral. And yeah, when you go viral, it eventually comes down.
Right.
So then you have to deal with that.
Yes.
I think sometimes I think, right, I don't mind growing slower and more consistently because I build character, I build patience.
Yes, I actually see that as well. I feel like people who got instant success, like, like it's the same with celebrity, right? If they become like an influencer overnight, or they become successful overnight, like a lot of time they end up having depression
Exactly.
because they cannot cope with the downturn, like
Right.
because they always live on the high, but they don't know how to cope with the low, because something about fame, about like going viral and stuff like that, yeah, the fame would come down eventually, and then they don't like it anymore when they're not the most popular person on the internet. So I think that's the truth behind that, and I think building the character is also very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, like not all business owner become successful at 20 years old. A lot of business owner, they become successful at 40 something, 50 something years old. Like the owner, the father of McDonald's. Yeah.
Okay.
So never too late to start a business.
Right. It's never too late.
Never too late.
Okay, let's do a quick fire questions.
Okay.
I started doing it in the last one.
Okay.
I think it's a fun one
Okay.
to do it. Right. You have to answer as fast as possible. Okay. Favorite place you have visited?
God, that's already not fast. Mykonos.
Mykonos.
Yeah.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Okay. One gadget you can't live without?
A phone. Is that a gadget?
Yeah. Phone. Dream collaboration?
Can't think fast. Okay.
You can only choose one.
Collaboration, like collaboration in terms of what? Like YouTube video?
Or brand. Can also do
brand
that.
collaboration? Dream collaboration. MS.
Okay. All right, all right. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl, but lately I've been a morning person.
Okay, okay. What's your guilty pleasure?
Being watching YouTube video.
Ah, It's mine as well, actually. All right. Yeah, that's it for the quick
Okay.
fire question. All right, I got a couple of more questions. I got this. This is inspired by Jay Shetty.
Okay.
He asked two good questions there. I want to ask as well.
Okay.
What's the best advice you have ever received?
Okay, I need to think about this. Yeah, I don't have anything off the top of my head right now.
Or the second one, what's the worst piece of advice you have ever received? If you can think about that.
Okay, now I'm gonna think about these two. What are
I
yours?
mean, it's a hard one. I've
It's
never
hard.
thought about that actually. I can say what the worst piece of advice is. Is be realistic.
Ah,
Be realistic. I still hear it. So I still have to, you know, believe in myself and the path that I'm on. Even hearing that from people who are close to you, still try to believe in myself. So a lot of people say, be realistic, it's not possible. And I think that's the worst piece of advice that I've got. What about you?
okay. I think the worst advice I've ever received is to dream big. And this
Okay.
might sound strange, but I think a lot of time we have dreams, but we don't know if it's actually our dream or someone else's dream. For example, you might be happy with $10,000. I might be happy with $10 million. Another person might be happy with $1 billion.
Right.
So in that sense, I don't want to. I need to really think when I have a goal or a dream. Like for example, when I used to dream of being a millionaire, like, do I actually want that dream? Does it actually align with who I am and my lifestyle or not? Because a lot of time, like people have this dream, like literally every early 20 years old I talk to want to be a billionaire.
Right.
And I'm like, do you actually want to be a billionaire? Or you want to be a billionaire because people tell you to dream big?
Right.
Or because other people say they want to be a billionaire? Because for me, I would never want to be a billionaire. I would actually hate that.
Yeah.
Because that's not the lifestyle that I want to have. But being a millionaire, yes, I would want to be a millionaire because to me, being a millionaire is the only way you could have financial freedom. And with financial freedom come time freedom and also location freedom.
Right.
I want to be able to live anywhere in the world. I want to be able to work because I have a passion for what I do, not because I have to or pay to pay the bills.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good advice. Like you have to define your own definition of success and
Exactly.
not just copy others or get influenced by like the
Yes.
gurus on
The guru, the influencer,
influencers.
literally the influencer on the internet that
Right.
influence other people that like, oh yeah, you need to make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. What if someone is happy making $5,000 a month?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it fit their lifestyle much more. It make their mental health much better.
Right.
And that's already enough. Like, and this is what I learned from observing a lot of people lifestyle. Like, for me, I tend to like a more bougie lifestyle, but there are so many people that I met that they are happy with a more simpler lifestyle.
Right.
They don't need to go to fine dining places. They don't need to wear designer clothes, but they're happy and they're content and they don't need anything more than that.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's why I say dream big is one of the worst advice I received.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about the best advice you have ever received?
The best advice I ever received, probably never give up. Plain and simple. You just can't give up on like life, on anything, on your progress, like, you know, with everything in life, right? Business, can't give up on your business. When you're a fitness goal, you can't give up on your fitness
Right.
goal. Yeah, with literally everything in life. With also finding the one, right?
Finding the one.
Yeah. you give up and like, yeah, you would probably would never find one.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's simple but yet so powerful.
Yeah, I think it is. It's really powerful. Yeah,
Not giving up. And that's hard to do,
it is. It is
but we
because
have to.
yes, yes, it's so easy to give up.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to keep going.
Keep
That's which
going.
is why we need to surround ourselves with like-minded people to help lift each other up and like push each
Right.
other to like become better and just never give up.
Talking about that, how important do you think your environment is and people who you surround yourself with?
Extremely important. I really believe in this quote that say like you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with, because your mindset, the way you think, how you act, your lifestyle, it's literally the average of the five people you spend the most
Right.
time with. Yeah. That's why you have your group of friends, right? Because you have like similar mindset, like you want to have similar lifestyle, and same with me as well. That's why I love to surround myself with people who are entrepreneur, people who have the growth mindset,
Right.
people who believe in manifestation, people who believe in health and fitness, and literally all my friends are like that. Yeah, I think it's super important.
You have a good circle.
Yes, I really, really believe I have a good circle, like, and it hasn't always been this way. Yeah.
Must have been hard as well to change circle.
Yes, like living in different country, yes.
Right.
But I also have changed a lot and grown a lot as well as a person because, I've worked a lot on myself, not just improving my skill, but also like my mental health, my mindset, the way I think. I have improved in every single way. Um, that's why I keep attracting better and better people to be my friends.
Right.
Because if I were to have a negative mindset, there's no way I can be friends with people who have a positive mindset. Yeah. Or if I always complain about things, there's no way I can be friends with people who are positive and chill all the time. Because, like, for example, like right now, I don't want to be friends with people who complain about everything. I don't want to be friends with people who believe in something I don't believe in. Like for example, we talked about this earlier. Like, I believe in monogamy. I don't want to be spending time with people who don't believe in monogamy because that's not a lie, right? You need to find people who are aligned with you, in every way.
Okay.
I mean, not every way, literally, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Right, right. I mean, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, I asked the last guest to ask a question for the next one, and so his question for you was,
Okay.
what drives you? What makes you wake up in the morning? What's your why?
My why is that I have no safety net. I don't have a rich family or a rich boyfriend to support me. If I want to be successful, it's just me. I'm the only person who can make myself successful. And that is my why. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Now, if you were, if you had to give a question for the next one, what question would you ask?
This is a tough one.
Yeah, you also had to think a bit.
Yeah. I think the question would be like, what did you dream of doing when you were a kid? And what are you doing now? And if it's the same or not, and if it's not the same, why are you not doing the same thing you dream of doing as a kid?
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I think as a kid we all have like wildest dream, right?
Right,
What was
right.
your dream? Like what did you dream of, like what's your like dream job basically as a kid?
As a kid, I could
Mine
still
was an astronaut.
an astronaut.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, mine was not that spectacular. It was a cartoonist
Really? Okay, that's very interesting.
drawing cartoons.
So you like drawing?
Yes, but not anymore. I don't do
Okay.
it anymore.
Okay.
But I used to draw a lot. I've been to art school,
Okay.
and then in art school, I thought I'll become a painter because I really
Okay.
enjoy painting.
Uh-huh.
And then I discovered graphic design.
Ah.
That was because I knew world was going into digital
Yeah.
and it's still creative. That's why I thought I'll become a graphic designer. But then that also changed.
Yeah.
I got into social media. And then I thought, why not start a social media marketing agency? I did that. And because of lockdown and everything, I talked about this on the video. I tried it for 2 years. It didn't work out. And then I stopped it. So that was like my first official business that failed. But looking back, I'm happy that it failed because that's how I got time to reflect and
Yes.
found my true passion. And I feel like this is my purpose,
Content creation, inspiring
inspire
people.
people, and through content creation.
I love that.
And yeah, I'm happy that I failed. So
Yeah.
sometimes you
Everything
never
happened
know,
for a reason.
right?
Everything, really. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What was yours?
An
Astronaut.
astronaut. Well, I mean, I quickly learned that I couldn't be an astronaut because like you have to be in a perfect health to be an astronaut, and there's only a very limited amount of people, and no one from Thailand ever become an astronaut. So that's also something.
Wow.
Yeah, because we don't have connection with like space. We don't have the technology. Uh, Also, similar reason why I did not become an aerospace engineer because to be an aerospace engineer, you need to be a citizen of each country that hire you because aerospace is considered like a military secret. So if I want to work at SpaceX, for example, I have to become American to work at SpaceX. Same with
Wow.
NASA. And I didn't know that when I study, which is silly, but yeah, that's like one of the five print you need to like check before you select your like major in university.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did it change throughout the years?
No, it's still the same. Even
Oh.
Elon Musk came out and said that he is an immigrant himself. He became American, obviously, and he would love to hire more immigrants for like SpaceX and Tesla. But Tesla he can, but for SpaceX he cannot hire immigrants only because of that reason. By law, he cannot hire immigrants.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
It is sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I mean, if I were to look back, like I would love to work for a company like SpaceX because I think that is so inspiring.
Oh yes, SpaceX,
Yeah,
and even Elon Musk himself is very inspiring.
agree.
Wow,
Yeah,
what an entrepreneur.
yeah, he is. I feel like everything he touched literally turned to goals. Like I don't think that any company that he started is not successful.
I don't remember.
PayPal, um, Tesla, SpaceX. I mean, he didn't start all these. He bought some of them and
Right.
he rebrand and stuff. But everything becomes successful. Even Dogecoin becomes
Dogecoin as
successful
well,
because of him.
because of Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, he's doing a lot of different things, a lot of
Everything.
cool things,
So many things. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Them trying to go to Mars and everything.
And I
Wow.
really, really hope to go to Mars.
Yeah, would you want that?
It's still like, my dream. Like, that's why I study aerospace engineering. Like, I
Right.
want to go to space.
Space.
It's my dream.
I mean, they're working on like, how do you say it? The space tourist thing.
Yes, but it's very expensive. I
Probably,
I
yeah.
know some friend that got a ticket to space.
Really?
It costs
Wow.
a lot, a lot, a
I
lot.
can guess, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also the ticket for the future, because it's still not possible
Possible yet,
now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. It is exciting, the future.
the future is exciting. Yeah, I'm excited for the future of space exploration for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
What about your own future? Are you excited about that?
I'm excited for like what gonna unfold for me in the future for sure because I see many possibilities. Yeah, for my future. So I'm excited. I'm a very open-minded person.
Right.
So yes, even like living in Bali, right? Like I never planned for it. But I'm also open to living in other places as well. Like the places I have in my mind for next year are well, Thailand, like Bangkok, Bali, Dubai, somewhere in Europe, maybe like Mykonos, yeah, or Monaco, who knows? Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, we should stop here.
For sure.
Sophia, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
so much
on,
for having me.
sharing your story, its insights, advice, and everything. Where can people find you and know more about your service?
So you can find me on my YouTube channel. It's called Sofia Supichaya. My agency name is Talasofao, which is it means the person who like the ocean because I love the ocean.
Oh.
And my Instagram is at sophia.supichaya, and that's my name.
Okay, guys, check her out. She's doing some interesting things, and I love the design and everything that she does. Um, well, I hope you had a lot of value from our conversations. It was a long one, but I really enjoyed it. So that's it. If you want to join our community, I'm going to ask her a couple of more questions, but that will be exclusively for our online community. So go check it out. There will be a link in the description. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.